You know, I've cooked a lot of stews, but is lamb madras really different? Today, I'll try that out and I'll be using this book, Foods by Arshley. The recipe, which is on page 80, looks really good. Although instead of using rice, I'll be using butter naan, which just so happens to be the same book on this page 72. Also, I've never made naan before, so this could go well or it could go very wrong. I also happen to know the husband of this author. However, I won't let that come into the way of this video. I promise not to be biased, and I also don't want you to waste your time in these videos. So let's do this. To prepare this dish, you will need 1.2 kgs of lamb, shoulder or leg cubed. I'm using 1 kg of lamb because, bro, lamb is not cheap. 4 cloves of garlic minced, 1 tablespoon of ginger grated, 1 red and 1 yellow bell pepper. I follow the first step in the procedure, which requires you to grill the peppers on the burner. I then cut out the stalk and remove the seeds. Once they were ready and slightly blackened, I gently scraped off excess soot with a spoon, or you can also use the back of a knife, and then finely chop them. 3 blended tomatoes, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, half a teaspoon ground coriander. The recipe says you can either use 10 fresh curry leaves or 1 tablespoon of curry powder. Since I don't have curry leaves, I'm using curry powder. Half a teaspoon ground turmeric, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, half a cup of natural yogurt, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. You could either use 1 tablespoon of tamarind paste or juice of 3 limes. Since I don't have tamarind paste, I'm using a juice of 3 limes. Some white pepper and salt, fresh coriander, finely chopped. A few things I've noticed about this recipe so far. 1, the author does not state how many people this dish would serve. From the ingredients, I can tell it looks like food that will serve a lot of people, which is great. 2, the amount of salt, white pepper, and fresh coriander are not included. I get that different people have different levels of saltiness and seasoning. However, it will be good to have a base where you can start off, and then if one needs to add salt, you can add salt according to your taste. Also for something like coriander, because if it's left open, I feel like the amount of coriander would affect the overall taste. Also for the bell peppers, although it says you use 1 red and 1 yellow bell pepper, they are of different sizes. What if I use a bigger red pepper than required, or a smaller one, or does it not really matter? Although I think that also affects the overall taste of the final dish. Something I really liked is that the author gives you options of some ingredients. So if you don't have some things, you can go ahead and use what is easier for you to find. Like the way I use limes instead of curry leaves. Also, if you're planning to cook this dish, know that the prep time that it takes to put all the ingredients together takes a bit of time. So you better start preparing early enough. Also, at some point, it's not listed in the ingredients, but we're gonna need some hot water, which we'll use to deglaze. Season with salt and pepper. Now here's the thing, I don't know how much salt to do, how much pepper. I don't know. I'm just gonna guess my own things. See, this is why I was saying it would be good to at least have a base. Because I don't know now. Am I doing? I'm putting too little, too much? Okay. I don't know. I hope that's okay. I'm gonna trust my instincts, right? Trust my instincts on this one. Wow. I don't know also how much heat to use. I realized that was not included. Is it hot? Is it medium? I don't know. So for right now, I don't know. It's like almost medium to hot. I also hope this meat will be soft, bro. I tend to like boiling meat before I use it, just to help make it soft, because meat these days has to be so hard and tough. It's so difficult to chew. I hope this will be soft. I don't know if you guys, it has a lot of liquid. Should I let all this liquid evaporate or what? Do I just use it as it is? Guys, we have a problem here. Guys, we seem to have a bit of a problem here because I'm trying to understand the directions, and it says when this is ready, I should set this aside and start on the other stuff, but I don't see anywhere where it mentions putting the meat back. So I'm a bit confused. Do I set this aside till later at some point, or do I just continue doing everything here? So I think I'm just gonna make what I think is the smarter move. I'm gonna set this aside. So I hope this is fine. It's lost quite a bit of the water. It still has some, but it's not too bad. It still has quite a bit of water. So let me set this aside first. I will add 3 tablespoons oil. 1, 2, 3. Saute my onions. Oh, I turn my heat down. Am I to put them together or should I let the onions saute first? Anyway, I'll just put them in my ginger. Of course, this is gonna smell well. This stew goes good together. Smells good. Then I add my peppers. And I fry them until soft. Peppers are already soft because of eating them in the beginning, and I was charring them. As you can see, guys, it's quite a bit the ingredients. So this will probably make a large dish, which is good if you have a family. If you live by yourself and you want to cook a meal that will take you through the week, I think this is good, right? Because I don't think I need to cook this for too long. So I'm gonna go ahead and add all the spices. Give them a quick stir. Oh, yeah, smelling good, smelling good. Add the blended tomato. And tomato paste. I don't know why I like to do this. Just put them in the middle and mix the paste and the tomato first. Let me put the brown sugar. Tamarind paste. We don't have tamarind paste, but we have lime juice, yogurt. According to the procedure, this is where it should end. However, I'm gonna put my meat back in here because it belongs here, right? And nothing, I don't know if this meat is cooked well. My dish won't be as red as the one in the cookbook. It's not looking quite the same. I don't know what it is. For some reason mine just doesn't look like the one in the cookbook. I don't know, should I just leave this as it is? Should I give it cover and leave it to simmer for a bit? Not quite sure, guys. I'm not quite sure what to do at this point. Which is not the best thing. What I'll do, I'll just reduce the heat, let it simmer so that even the meat can absorb some of that juiciness, right? And some of that flavor. And you can also release some fat to go into the rest of the stewiness. I've just had the meat, and the meat is really tough. So I feel like I'm gonna need to do something else to get this to be soft. Because right now the meat is hard, but it's not properly cooked. And I feel like if I let it simmer here for too long, I don't know if that will help. So I'm gonna dump this to here. To make sure it doesn't burn, I'm gonna use some of that hot water. Put it in my pressure cooker. So pressure cook this for a bit and the meat will get soft, right? I'm gonna, for 35 minutes I guess should be fine. In the meantime, we can get started on our butter naan. In order to prepare the naan, I'm gonna mix all the ingredients in a large bowl. You could either use your fingers or a wooden spoon. Alright, so we need 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of natural yogurt. Okay. 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. Okay. 2 1/4 teaspoons yeast. Mix that first. 1 cup warm water. A nice mix. 2 cups is about 240 grams. Let's go ahead and put 240 grams. Okay, there we go. 240. And measured a 1/4 cup of butter, which is about 57 grams. And if you're gonna make this, I suggest you get your butter out early, because if you get to this stage and your butter is hard, you'll need to make it softer. Putting my butter. Mix everything together, right? 2 cups flour and 1 cup of water. That should work, I guess. Let's see. So guys, just from my own experience, I can tell you you're gonna have a hard time trying to knead this. So I would probably just go ahead and add a bit of flour. Let's see. This is still pretty sticky. Thing is, when you have 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of water, it should work. But the problem is, we also put yogurt. And we also put butter, which would also make this pretty sticky and hard to work with. Okay, this is coming on. This looks better now. Okay, I'll switch to my hands. The pressure cooker is done, guys. And let me just use my hands for now. This is really sticky though. Guys, okay, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. Okay, let me do this here. This is kind of a mess. This is pretty, I'm gonna add some flour, guys. This is pretty sticky. Not looking so great. Am I doing something wrong here? Still so sticky. I should have added the butter after. It's probably contributing to all this. I know it will come together eventually. It's just gonna take a while. Okay, until it's starting to come together, as it peels off well. Yo, guys, Ah, this is gonna take forever, bro. This is gonna take forever. Bro, my hand is already tired. I'm gonna add some flour to this. Okay, better now. Now it makes more sense. There, it's less sticky now. It's less sticky. Yeah. Need to give this 25 minutes. Okay, put it there. Cover it with a thin kitchen cloth and we give it 25 minutes. Let me put the timer on. In the meantime, let's check on our stew. I'm not gonna add a bit of this fresh coriander. Okay, so our dough has proofed, and yeah, that's how it looks. It looks good. I'm also gonna melt some butter because there's a point you have to brush the butter. So I'm rolling them out in this shape. I don't know how thick it's meant to be, but I hope this is fine. And then since I happen to have some ghee, I'm gonna use this. And if you don't have this, just use oil. Regular oil, right? Yes. Okay, I think it should be good now. Okay, that looks okay. And then I'm going to brush some butter. Make it even more buttery. Buttery. Okay, I have the first one. Now, to do the same with all the rest, I'm just gonna cut this part. And there you go. The naans have come out looking great. They look awesome. Don't you guys think so? Okay, so let's go ahead and plate this. Nice mix in first. And I grab a nice. Some meat. Go ahead and grab our naan. It's pretty hard still. Okay, I'll just get a piece of it. Go. What do you think? Not the best plating, but yeah, I guess this will do. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Oh, I like the naan, it's so soft. And at least our meat is kind of soft now. I promise you guys that I'm gonna keep it real and I'm not going to lie to you about the food and the book. Well, the food is good. It's good. I enjoyed it. It actually came out really well. I think it's the type of recipe that is open to your own interpretation. It did have some issues. Yes, it did have some issues. And I ended up having to put it in the pressure cooker, which was not part of the process because there was that glitch about the meat and what to do with the meat. I don't know if there's a step missing or what. And also being lamb and how tough meat is nowadays. The pressure cooker helped to make it soft, which I think is something I would include into this recipe if I was to do it again. The naan was also great, by the way. I really enjoyed the naan. It came out great. I think the first time that I made it, question, would I cook this again? Yes, I would cook it, but I'd do some things different. This is how I would change it. For the chili powder, I'd probably use half a teaspoon, something less if you're not someone who's really into spicy food. But if you like spicy food, 1 teaspoon is good enough. And add the meat back here. Back at that point, and then I would definitely put in pressure cook. Probably maybe even do 1 hour. For the naan, the only thing I would do different here is maybe instead of using 2 cups of plain wheat flour, I would maybe use 3 cups or even 3.5, depending. And I would put in this butter after initial kneading, just to make it easier to knead. But how about we give the book another chance to prove itself? But the best way to do that would be to compare it side to side with something else. And the dish that I picked, this lovely burger, will it taste as great against another recipe from this book? And the burger it will face off with is the double cheeseburger. So make sure you watch next time to see if this book can make up for itself after today's dish.